Hi, I'm Simon. So today I've got something a little bit different following my Spectrum themed videos recently. It's a Sargon Emperor keyboard. Let's get it open, have a look at it. I'll tell you a little bit more about it. So this is a keyboard for the ZX Spectrum, in particular the rubber keyed 48K. And I got it because I wanted a proper keyboard for it. Let's just lift that out gingerly. Move the box out of the way. Now there's a lucky find. If you saw my previous video, I had that missing. It's the little cap for the joystick port on the interface 2. Good little find. I'll put that with it. Screws for fixing the keyboard to the Spectrum. I'll move those out of the way. Move the whole box out of the way. Let's get the keyboard back into shot. Bear with me while I fiddle with everything. Spin it around. Let's get a bit closer. So like I was saying, this is a full-size keyboard for the Spectrum. So you'd start off with the old rubber keyed one, like what I've got here, my second ever computer, little rubber keyed 48K. And for those that didn't like that, there was a proper QWERTY keyboard option, which we have here, made by a third-party company. The name escapes me. I'll try to put it in the description if I remember. But the idea was quite simple. If I spin it over, you see it's literally just a keyboard shell. And we've got the keyboard membrane, the keys itself, and by methods I can't quite remember yet, but we'll work it out together. This replaces the top half of the ZX Spectrum. This just sits on top, plugs in to the lower half, put it all back together, and lo and behold, you've got a full-size keyboard on your Spectrum. And they weren't bad keys, to be fair. The interesting thing about this is I do remember when I bought it, the keys were completely blank and it came with a sticker sheet and you'd peel them off and put them on one by one. Some of them have yellowed a bit. I don't think there's much I can do in terms of doing anything about that. Perhaps a bit of a clean up here and there where my grubby fingers have been on it as a teenager and whatnot. Let's just have a look at the front. Yeah, could perhaps do with a bit of a clean here and there. But I think the main thing is at this point is see if it works. So let's get the Spectrum stripped down and let's see if we can get it plugged in and see if we can get it working. So as you may have seen on some of my previous videos with the Specky, getting inside isn't that tricky. Screw at the top. They're all the same size. The only thing to be really mindful of is when you separate it, the two ribbon cables connecting the top half with the keyboard onto the bottom half with the motherboard. do get fragile with age. So it's just a case of, I appreciate that it's difficult for me to do with the camera, just a case of just gently teasing them out of the socket on the motherboard. And that's it, that's the keyboard out. So, what we need to do, in theory, and I can't remember the steps involved, but what do I do with the screw kit? Right. Screw kit's there. I'll zoom out. So the idea is, let's move that keyboard to the side. The idea is that this sits on here somehow. Is that the right way around? I think so. So use the existing holes on the Spectrum itself. Now, I guess we can do all this first because the keyboard connects to there. So if we put, we've got some really long ones. And some not so long ones. Got some more there. Now I'm guessing that it's just a simple case of feeding those through from the underside and just putting, just holding it in place with these. And I'm guessing part of this is then, what is that for? No, I think I'm right. I think I'm right. Let's see what's what. So if that goes through there, that then goes through there. That's way too long though, isn't it? I think I'm wrong. You can see what I'm doing here. They wouldn't make it that long. However, just looking at that, no, I don't think that's right. Unless, let's just get the keyboard. How does that play in? So the keyboard's going to go. Where's the keyboard go? I know I've not fastened it in yet. Just trying to work out for position. Tell you what, let's put the top on because the top's going to be the guide, isn't it? So it's going to be somewhere along those lines. See. Do I? Right, so that goes there. So I don't want a really long one coming all the way through. Right, I think it's going to be these shorter ones. I think it's going to be these shorter ones because I think then that the keyboard's going to screw in here onto the screw posts. And if you can see, screw post there. Are we still in shot? So we've got screw posts there, and there. Got those screws there. Right. Let's take that really long one off first. In fact, I'll move that keyboard out of the way. Let's get that long one taken off, because I don't think we're going to need that. Well, not for this. Let's put a short one through. So we just need to hold this just need to get it so that it holds. I think that's much better. Let's just put a nut on. Stop it falling out. We can always take it off if it's wrong. I'll just leave it hand tight for now. Let's do the same on this side. Let's zoom in. Let's do the same on this side. Feed it through underneath. Push that through. Right, I think we're there for now. Right. So that's got 2 screws in so far. So I'm guessing these must go through here. These must go at the front. They must do. I'll take the other nut off, the other bolt. But I'm not sure. Oh. How does the top fasten to the bottom? Do you know what? I think the long ones are for that. Did the screw on? No. Right. Do we use the original Spectrum screws, I wonder? Let's put the keyboard on. Let's just lay it over. So I'm definitely wrong with that. I'm definitely wrong with that. That's not right. So let's take that out for now. Just looking underneath. Just trying to work out what's going on. I'm alright with those two. This can't be that complicated. But here I am. Right, let's just put this on top. Right, process of elimination. Right, that's on. So how would the top and bottom hold together? 2 screws there. Let's just put it on for now. So just 2 screws. So I've got those 2 which are different to all the other ones. So I'll put those in. Goes in nicely. So I think I'm right with that. The front's clipped on so that doesn't come off, so I don't need screws at the front. So that's right. So let's get those back out. So I'm happy with that. Those go there. 1, 2. So I know that's correct. Right. Let's think about getting the keyboard on then. Now, if I thought there was going to be a problem, this would be where it is. And these look quite clean. What I will do though is I'll just find my spray for the deoxit. Oops, taking my light with me. Bear with me. Just give a bit of contact cleaner into there. Won't do any harm. And I'll give the keyboard a bit as well. Like I say, the connections do look good. I'm quite pleased with how they look. Right. I need a bigger room. So that's got in nicely. Yeah, I think both of those are in. Yep. Right, line that up with those holes. Right, that's all lined up with those holes. So I've got one. Yeah, that goes in really well. Satisfied those are the right screws for that. 2. Still in shot, yeah. And down at the bottom, 3. And 4. Now then, I'm still puzzled as to what these long ones are for. Do you know, I'm wondering if the long ones were for the back and the short ones for the front. And it'll keep the spectrum, because otherwise it's all floppy. Do you know what? Let's undo this. Sorry about this. Let's take it off. 2, 3, 4. Because even though these are really long at the back, it doesn't actually make any difference. Makes no difference having the long ones at the back, because they're not going to get in the way of anything. So let's bob these cables back out. Keyboard out of the way. Right, let's get these short ones off and move them to the front. Yeah, do you know what? It has to be this. Because without the 4 on it, it'd just be flopping about. It'd be awful. So let's move that to the front. If I can find out where that goes. It's all flopping about. Feel for the hole. There we go. long one at the back for no particular reason. Why it's so long. I thought at first it can't be. That can't be right. There must be more that needs to go through. But I think they've just thrown in whatever. Don't you know what? That'll be fine. What I might do is is that tight enough? I'm always careful with old plastic. The computer's not going anywhere. Right, let's take this one out. I'm not sure whether I'll leave it on, to be honest, because I'm quite a fan of my rubber keys. So that's that one out. Let's get that through and on. I don't know how many of these actually sold. I don't know how rare these Sargon Emperor keyboards were. I got mine from a computer shop. I know it was available for mail order online, but I got mine from a shop. And I just love the idea of having some proper keys on it. But then as you get older, you think, well, actually, I quite like the rubber ones. Maybe I thought that at one point because, obviously, at some point, I've decided to take it back off again anyway. Right, that's that. Let's get the keyboard connected back up again. It's a bit that I hate doing. Right, that's one. Just so scared of damaging it. I mean, you can trim them, but ultimately end up with a shorter and shorter connector. Right. I think that's both of them in without issue. Now, if I look at that, even though the bolts are long at the back, it's all just bending like a banana, isn't it? Oh, I had a key fall off. Fortunately, that's clipped back in okay. Right, let's screw the keyboard down. I don't know what happened to the instructions for it. I'm sure they were lost long ago. Never mind. Let's just cross our fingers that it works. So that's that on. Right. Let's get the top cover on. So the front's just held in place by sliding on. It says this, just screw it in. I'm quite happy with that. There we go. So, no spare bits, which is great. That is a Sargon Emperor keyboard on a ZX Spectrum. Right. Let's get plugged in. Let's see if it works. Right, I'm going to connect it up to the TV. Done the composite mod as per one of my previous videos. Let's stick the power in. Comes on. That's a good start. Right, keyboard test. Space. Z, yes. X, C, V, B, N, M. Good start. That's working, but it's coming up as an M. Ah, that's because, yes. I seem to remember now. So it was a strange setup. So some of the keys, some of the key labels, like the full stop here, that was on the M key, but to use it, you had to use Shift, and they've not done anything to map it with a Shift as well. So even though it just says dot, you still got to press the Shift key next to it. And the same with the comma key. Yeah, not to worry. So let's just keep trying the keys. Yeah, caps lock. Yeah, cap Shift. F, that's working. Graphics, yeah, equals nothing there. CLS, V, A is not working, S, D, F, G, H isn't working, J isn't working, K, L. Neither the enter keys are working. That's a shame. This isn't working. Number 1 isn't working. Right. So I've got a few buttons that don't work, but they seem to be spread out a bit, which makes me think that it's not the ribbon cable, it's probably the keyboard itself. So let's get it back up and let's have a look at it. Might just need a clean. Right, back we are again. Suppose I didn't need to put the last bit of case together to test it, did I? Flip that over, top, slide off. Fabulous. I know it's not a problem with the Spectrum or the connector itself because I know using it that it works absolutely fine. So I know it's not to do with the Spectrum itself. Right. You know, just even though I said I don't think it's the connectors, let's just give it another go. Give it another clean with the contact cleaner spray. I honestly don't believe this will make a difference. I think it'll be the membrane itself, but this would be a very easy fix. Easier than potentially taking the keyboard apart and causing further issues. Right. Just going to try that off camera because it'll be a 2-second check. Boot it up. No, exactly the same problem. Right. Cool. Right, let's get the keyboard off. Right, get the spectrum out of the way. Oh, that doesn't look so good, does it? Is that something stabbed it? Is that me as an angry teenager? That isn't my character really, but just wondering. Is this just glued on? It is. I wonder if this has just come away a little bit. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to connect it back up. And this just seems to be just glued onto it. And the glue, as you can see, is awful. I wonder if just pushing down just makes the connection. So it might just be a case of cleaning this up and re-gluing it. Let's just give that a try. Right, once again, connect these back up. I really do hate doing this. One, two. Right, I'm just going to try off camera if holding the back of the keyboard membrane up against the keys makes it work. No, it doesn't. Everything else seems to work though. How annoying. Right. Right. I think the only thing for this then is to separate it. Well, that wasn't exactly hard, was it? And if you can see that's not so good, is it? Something's gone through there. I don't think it's actually damaged anything. Right, how on earth am I going to clean this up and re-glue it? Right. carefully, I think is the answer. Right. Right. This looks like it's going to be quite messy. I've got my IPA. It just feels like cake sponge. Let's see what this does. Let's give the whole thing a soak. Let's see if it starts bringing it off. Just been thinking what I'm going to do to glue it back on. I could use super glue, of course, but it's the only thing with super glue is I've got one chance and it'll never come off again. When I want to be taken off again, look at that, that is fabulous. But it's certainly bringing it off, which is good, because I thought I might really struggle with this. So I thought, what, rather than gluing this back together at this moment in time, I'll just connect the membrane up and see how it performs. And yeah, it's definitely got some issues. I don't know if it's to do with these puncture marks, where something's gone through it at some point. But I don't think I'm going to get this working. I don't think I can separate this membrane. I'm pretty sure the connectors are good, which is a real shame. If anyone out there knows of any way I could potentially fix this membrane, that would be fantastic. But it's a real shame. Yeah, those contacts where it's been punctured. It's not working. Whether that's coincidence or not, I don't know, because it doesn't look like. And maybe it does on that one. Which is S. I don't know what to say, really. I don't know if there's anything more I can do. I don't think I'm going to get another one of these membranes from anywhere. That's a real shame. A real shame. Anyway, I won't put it back together at this moment in time because obviously it's not working. If anyone out there has some ideas on what I could potentially do to get this working, has anybody separated these? Is it a viable option, or is it just going to end up ripping the traces? Let me know in the comments, please, because if it's potentially doable, I'll give it a go. Just need some pointers. Well, I'll wrap the video up at that. It's a real shame. I like to get everything working, but I think in this instance, unless I can find another membrane somewhere, which I really don't believe so, because for even finding these keyboards in the first instance is incredibly difficult. That's it, isn't it? Unfortunately. Well, I hope you enjoyed it anyway. I'm glad I enjoyed my rubber keys. Genuinely disappointed. Anyway, I'm not going to be sad. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed having a look at the SAGA Emperor keyboard anyway. It's certainly not a common piece of equipment for the Spectrum. And maybe I'll revisit it if there's something I potentially do with that membrane. Otherwise I'll store it away for prosperity. Thank you for watching. If you've liked it, give me those thumbs up, drop me a comment. It's much appreciated. Thank you, and hopefully see you in the next video. Bye-bye.